Hey everyone, Canson here, and in this tutorial I'm going to be covering the muscles of the forearm, and I'll probably cover the muscles of the arm, the entire arm as well, and basically how the forearm connects to both the upper arm and the wrist. So, the forearm was always super difficult for me, more than probably any other part of the body. And that's because it's made up of a bunch of muscles, and also the arm twists. Like, okay, so you have an arm, right? Let's say this is our arm. And in this view, your arm is like, you see the backhand, right? Here. But then you can also move your arm in a position more like this, where now you see the palm. And because of that twisting thing, that's what made it super hard. Like what happens in here and here. And it was all really complicated and confusing until I saw this tutorial by a guy called Funky Monkey on DeviantArt. And he made a very simplified tutorial, and it actually made sense to me. So I'll include a link to the tutorial he made in the description of this video. And again, I have to credit him for a lot of what I'm going to show you because it's what I picked up from his tutorial. But basically the idea is to stop thinking of it as a bunch of muscles in the forearm, and instead to simplify it to just 3. And okay, so first let's go over just the muscles. Now we've gone over how the muscles attach to the torso, and if you haven't seen that video, it's probably, a couple videos back, but it's connecting the arm to the torso. So just search for that video. So when I start with the arm, I almost always start with the stick figure basis, and like I'll start with a gesture for an arm, with the shoulder and then the wrist, and then I get the elbow and it follows a gesture. But this too, as soon as I've got the elbow and the shoulder and the wrist, it's like a stick figure, and then you've got the hand here, right? So this is how I start with the arm. Okay, so starting with the arm like this, let's just do a few views. So I'm going to use this as a guideline. And I make sure the elbow is halfway between the shoulder and the wrist. And okay, so what you have is the deltoid, and that's the shoulder muscle, and we've covered this in the connecting the arms to the torso video, and it's doing this. So this is just more like a refresher. And then the deltoid stops at a muscle called brachialis. And I actually tend to, I kind of ignore this. You could include it or you could ignore it, I guess. It's up to you. But the deltoid goes into brachialis, but more importantly, it divides the biceps in the front with the triceps on the back. And the triceps from the side have this kind of look, and from the back, they look more like this, where they have this fat, like this fatter belly portion here, and then this goes down to the elbow. And with the elbow, I simplify it as a triangle shape, and then just like this shape. And the reason why is it's because it's really 3 bones. You have, two are the same bone. So what you have is you have the humerus bone, and it comes down like this, right? Goes like this. And then you have the ulna, which is the bone that goes to your wrist, and it comes down like this. And then it goes to your wrist. And then here you have the radius, which moves your thumb around. So because of that, you end up with like 3 points, and these are ones that you can actually feel. One here, which is part of the humerus, here, here, and then here, which is the ulna. And this is called the olecranon. And it's just the elbow. Like this is actually, when you think of the elbow, what you're thinking of is this muscle right, or this bone right here. So let me just use different colors to make it a bit more understandable. So you have this part, this bone, and then you have this bone, and this one actually ends much fatter and it goes to the thumb, and then this one goes to your little finger, the ulna. So the important thing I think to remember is that it's the humerus doesn't move. Like, of course it will move, but when you move your elbow up and down, it's this part that moves, the ulna that moves. And from a side view, like simplified, and I thought Funky Monkey did a really good job of simplifying this. It's like, okay, so let's look at it from a side view now. So you have this, and then you have the ulna, and it has a shape like this from the side. And so from when you bend this up, like this, the ulna is going to come around like this. And so what happens is you end up with a shape like this when this is like it goes from here, from here to here. And so the way you would think of it is this is one thing, and this is another thing. So these are the simplified bones, right? Okay, so and then ulna, I don't want to use all the technical names really, because it's not really that important. But we can just call this the bone that goes like the ulna is the bone that it's the elbow, and it goes to the little finger. And then this one is the radius, and the reason it's called the radius is because it goes around, like it swivels around the ulna, and that goes to the thumb. So if you can just remember radius and thumb and ulna and elbow and little finger, like associate ulna with elbow and little finger. Just keep, not the Game of Thrones one, but the pinky, this. So this, from here to here, the elbow, this is the ulna. And you can see here, this, how it's outlined here, and goes here. And then this is the radius. And the radius kind of connects like this, like it's got this part and it goes up here. And this, it swivels like this, see? So this part is the ulna, right? Because it's, see, little finger, ulna, okay? So here, and then, but it actually didn't move, see? This finger, right? Let's just point. This is staying still, right? This pen. And notice the ulna is not moving. It's this one that moves. This is swiveling around. So this becomes the point that's fixed. This is the, what do you call it? This rotates around this. And so this is the radius. And now the radius is doing this. See? It crosses over. So here, these two are like that. They're straight. And this one, it crosses over. So and see, the actual elbow, it's not moving that much when I swivel. It's this that moves, the thumb one. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So once you have that, things get a lot simpler. So you have here the three muscles of the upper arm, which I think are important, are the deltoid here, and then you have the biceps, and the triceps. And then in the middle, you have the brachialis, sorry. So this is the bicep, triceps, deltoid, and then the same thing here, deltoid here, and then the triceps from the back look like this. And they've got like this kind of, see, it gets fat here, and then you have this sheet going down, and it goes to the elbow. So I was talking about the reason I simplify it as a triangle is because of this shape. See, these two, here, here, and here. I think of that like connect those, and you've got this triangle shape. And then extend that all the way down to the little finger. And you've got this type of shape. And why that's important is because now it's like, okay, so what connects here? Well, the tricep connects like this. So you've got the tricep here. And now you have this division here between muscles. So you've got muscles, and this would be the, you know, the palm, or the hand would be down here, okay? So this is really important. And then you have the deltoid coming around like this. So you get this type of shape with the elbow here. And let's just color the elbow in red. And then I think of it including this bone all the way down to the pinky. And the reason is because you do see that, right? You see it goes here, and like you can actually see that bone, whatever, here, there, whatever. I have not much development of muscles, but yeah. So you see that, and then yeah, you've got the triceps and the deltoid. Okay. So let's move on. So the next important thing is how the three muscles connect to the top part. So let's start with, again, an arm. Okay. And I guess I'll just do a few versions. So this is going to be side. So start with a basic arm. And I've gotten to the point that for me, sketching this arm shape is not hard. And maybe for you too, it's not as hard to sketch the arm shape as it is to know what's going on inside. So this, it's kind of just been reduced to a bunch of shapes really. This, and then let's do this. And I always try to keep things very loose, and also thinking about the big picture all the time. Like, what does the arm look like? You know, when I draw, I'm not thinking about, well, there's this one muscle here, and then it goes like this, and then you have another muscle here, and then you have another muscle here, and that's going to get hidden like this, and then you have another muscle here, and then you have this coming over like this, and then this splits like no, that's very disjointed. And I think this is the problem that I was facing when I was looking at anatomy books, is because there are so many muscles, and even sometimes I've heard people say like, well, you just learn it one at a time, like you learn this, and then you learn this, and then you learn this, and then you put it all together. The problem with that for me is you lose proportion, and you start viewing the muscles like they're individual, but they're not. They're all together. Like all these muscles function as one. And let's do another view of the back view, because we've got this is like side, this is the other side. Wait, no, this is like front 3/4, 3/4, and then this is side, and this is front, and then this would be back. Sorry again if my style is creeping through with all the sharp things. I've been asked, not to do my style thing. Really, the thing that's good about style is it shouldn't affect the actual bones and the anatomy and the structure. So even if I had a crazy style, like even if I had, the deltoid looks like this, and biceps are really small, and triceps are really small, and then, there's a huge arm and it does this, and then you have this tiny hand or something. Even if I did this, if my anatomy is correct, you still could look at this and learn proper anatomy, just because the muscles aren't changing. Like, it's just their size and their proportion changes, but the muscles themselves remain the same. So don't worry too much about style. And if you are someone who thinks, well, because this is heavily stylized, I can't learn from it, I don't know what to say. Good luck. Anyway, so let's go to this view. Okay, so we have the deltoid, and it comes around. And remember, it divides the bicep from the tricep. That's what I really think about. Like, the deltoid, it's pointing, and it points to the brachialis muscle. But more than that, I just think, like, I simplify it as just one division. And then on this side, I have triceps. This side, I have biceps. Okay? And then you have a muscle. The muscle itself is divided into 3. One part goes to this point, and then one part goes in the middle here, and one part goes like that. So that's the deltoid. Okay, so you have bicep. Now here is where we start to split things. So the first thing I do is, because I'm not that good at this yet, but I look at where I'm looking. So this is thumb side. So it's like, okay, so thumb. Okay, now with the thumb, we have the radialis, right? So I'm thinking, okay, so this goes to the what goes to the thumb? Well, it's a muscle here, and it starts like this at the border of the bicep and tricep, and it comes around and it connects to the thumb. Now this isn't one muscle. See, I'm simplifying it as one muscle, but it's very important that you understand that this is not one muscle. This is a simplified version of this muscle, okay? And then let's color this in as pink. So forever now, this is going to be pink. And this is what I would really recommend for people trying to learn this, because this is how I learned it, is get some colors. It doesn't have to be pens. It can be colored pencils. And I was using these 3 colors, teal, and these are Uniball Signo pens UM151 for anyone who is curious. Okay, so you get these colors and then start shading them in so that you have an idea. So this pink, and this is just ripped off from Funky Monkey's thing, but pink goes to the thumb. So remember this, goes to the thumb, and that's going to be pink. Okay? And this is a combination of some flexors and extensors, but we're not going to worry about that. Let's just forget about the technical names of what the muscles are called. So we have goes to the thumb, then we have goes to the palm, and also, I also think of it as little finger, but mostly palm. And that is going to be this color. And so let's look at this arm and think, okay, so you have a muscle here, right? And where does it go? Well, it goes to the palm. So the palm is hidden in this view, right? Palm is underneath. So we just draw this going to the palm. And we can shade that. Okay, so now we have that. And then the final one goes to the top of the hand. Goes to the top of the hand. And these are the extensors. Now you also have extensors here, and extensor just means it extends the arm, and flexors means, or it extends the hand. Like, okay, so a flexor does this. It does that. That's a flex. And this, like this is flex, and this is extend. When you do this, it's extending. So when you extend, all these get activated. And then when you flex, these get activated. So this is the extensors, or these are the flexors because they pull it in, and these are the extensors up here. So we have these extensors, and they go all the way down to the fingertips. And so, like when I do this, when I open this, it's the extensors that are getting used. So, okay, goes to the fingertips. So there we go. Goes to the top of the hand is going to be this orange color. And sorry, it is not neat. I will try my best to neaten it. Okay, there we go. All right, so now keeping that in mind. So see the things we had to pay attention to? What is the border? Bicep and tricep. And I can just color in biceps and triceps. I'm not going to do that all the time, but that would be red, I guess. And that would be blue. Tricep. Fine. Okay. So now, we have a side view. So what's going to happen? Well, we have the bicep coming down. You have the tricep here. You have this, the going to the thumb, the flexor. So, okay, so this comes around. And now you have the elbow here. Okay? So, you have this coming around. And this, see how this works? I think of it like this flexor. Let's do the back view. Okay, because this is going to make more sense. Okay, so you have the back view. You have the elbow here. Okay, and the elbow, I simplify it again as this triangle form. And it comes down to where? To the little finger. Remember that? The elbow goes to the little finger side. So we get this shape, kind of like this. Like a, I don't know, like that thing you put on you put the golf ball on it, then you hit it. The T, is that what it's? Anyway, never mind. I don't know golf. So that goes down. Okay, so that's dividing these two things. Now, with this part that goes to the thumb part, what happens is it starts up here and it goes like this. It goes around and to the thumb. So from the front view, yeah, I guess that's smarter to just do each part sort of separately. From the front view, it's like this. It just goes around like this and it goes to the thumb and it looks like this. Okay, so let's fill that in. And then from the back view, it's doing this. It's going around to the thumb. Now, this part that goes to the top of the hand is going to the top of the hand. So, okay, so we have this, the orange part, here. And now where is that in this view, in the front view? Well, you don't see it because it's behind here. But see how this creates this kind of like, it looks like this is going underneath this, which probably is. So you get this type of thing where you get this shape and then this shape. And then you have this part, which is going to the palm. And it's also on the little finger side. And that is this. And then on the back view, you see it here. And what I like to think of is this thing, the elbow part, the T, this triangle that goes down. This is really dividing, on the back, it divides the orange from the teal. So the orange is this, and it's divided on the back by the elbow, the ulna, and in the front, it's the bicep, I feel, that I use as a marker. So you have the bicep, and then this splits down the middle, except it's more favoring this side. So it's not like this is right down the middle, because this part, the extensors, the flexors, they connect to more of the hand, and this red part, or the pink part, connects to the thumb more. So it's not exactly split, but kind of. Okay, so that's that. So this and this are the same, and this are the same, and this, and this are the same. And then from a side view, okay, so what we're going to do is you get the elbow. And the elbow goes where? To the little finger, right? So that's behind. Okay, so now this is going to the thumb. And you have all this going to the thumb. And then this is now going to be the orange part going to the top of the hand. And this is going to be the teal part. So teal, pink, orange. Okay, so pretty much that's like it in terms of what I think. But now, how do you get good at it? Well, the way I do it is I just start by drawing a bunch of arms, and then I fill in the muscles. So let's just put arms in different views. Let's say this one is bent. And again, I start with the stick figure first, you know, so I get the proportions. And let's say this one, maybe this one's like, I don't know, bent this way. This is the fingers, the thumb is back here. Okay, so we'll have that. And we'll have one that's coming, maybe coming towards us. So some foreshortening. Something like that. And then we could have one that's like in a pose as if it's holding something. Maybe it's holding a sword. It, as if the arm. So we have like a holding sword pose. And we can just have a relaxed hand sort of doing nothing, maybe resting on a table or something. Okay, and that'll do. So let's build these arms now. Okay, so deltoid comes down here, right? Divides it. So now we've got biceps and we got triceps. So biceps come down here, and now we have the flexor, and the elbow is going to come around and do this thing. And it's going to go to where? It's going to go to little finger. So here is that triangle, right? Triangle going to the little finger. So now we know little finger is here. So this is going to be the top of the hand. Okay. And then you have the teal part is going to be underneath going to the palm, right? So yay, we have teal here. So that's our first guy. He's done. Okay, now we have the triceps back here. Let's not forget them. Okay, and the flexor, or the pink part, goes like this, and it's going to the thumb, right? And the thumb is back here. So this is now going around and to the thumb. Okay, like so. So we have the pink part going to the thumb here. And then we have the orange part going to the top of the hand here. And it's divided by that, the elbow, the ulna, remember? That's the divider between the orange and the teal. So we've got that, and it goes up the top of the hand. So there. It's our first guy. And then this one, I guess, was doing something like this, which is kind of weird, but okay. Well, what's he doing? Okay, if this is the top of the hand, okay, so this is the elbow going to the little finger, goes here. And it does get tricky for me as well, like I have to think about it a lot. And this is going to the top of the hand, okay. And then this is the triangle, and this is the tricep coming down here. This is the bicep here. Okay. Then we're going to have this dividing this like this, and this is the top of the hand, and so we're going to get something like this with the teal here going to the palm. Then you have the orange here, and this is why I say I'm not that good at it, because it's still quite challenging to think of where all these things are going. And you have this here. That looks very painful. But anyway, let's do this one. So you have the deltoid coming around here, bicep. This one's actually easier. You have the pink part going towards the thumb, the top of the hand part here. You have the elbow, and so you'll see a little bit of teal here. And this comes like that. Okay, so that one's pretty easy, especially compared to this one, which I think I confused myself on it. So orange, and then pink. Oh yeah, we can get the triceps back here. And then teal, it's just a little bit showing maybe. Okay, and now this view, oops. I can just keep all my pins open, makes more sense. Okay, this view, we have biceps coming here, and that divides the arm down the middle. And so, holding the sword, or whatever it is, can put that in first, where that would be, and we can get that hands going around that form. Whatever, I'm having trouble drawing straight lines. And then deltoid dividing this, a little bit of triceps maybe, and there, we've got that. So again, this part going to the thumb, and this part going to the palm. And now let's do it from this view. So again, deltoid, triceps coming down like this, biceps going around here, and then the pink part coming around, going to the thumb. So that's going towards the thumb. And then you have this part going towards the top of the hand. And I guess you wouldn't see the teal part in this because the elbow's right on the, like let's say this is a table, the elbow is right on it, like that. There's knuckles. And simplified, we get this, and we get this. And this, right, the triangle for the elbow, remember that, so you have the triangle for the elbow, and then this comes around like this. So now we have this going around like that. Now, one last thing that's sort of important is that you learn the muscles this way, like, how to detail them, I guess, or where they go like this, but that's not how you actually draw them. And so, again, I'll invoke the power of Dbmier, and when you draw them, remember that it's going to be much more subtle. So what you're going to have are things like this. So yes, we'll get the outer form, and so we can keep that. But then where the muscles themselves go, it's a little bit more subtle. You're not outlining all the muscles. Just what's important. And get the hand there. And so it's going to look more like that, right? Like you're not going to be outlining everything. And I like to use this type of, I don't know, I guess it's because I'm using pen, I sort of have to use a comic book way of doing it with like a line, and then I sort of have it dash out like that, or I'll put forms in things like that. So, okay, let's just do this one, I guess we could do, even though I'm having a lot of trouble with it. It's probably not a good idea to do this one because I'm very confused, as like it keeps making me have a brain fart, which just means I need more practice. But something like that, I guess. And then with this one, just sort of outlining not the whole thing, but just things that overlap. I'm showing those, like where the overlaps are, and where sort of the divisions are. And with all these, like the orange one in particular, there's a lot of muscles that are getting represented by just a few. So when you look in an anatomy book, for instance, you'll see a ton of muscles, not just one. But that's why I really like this method, this tutorial, because it makes it just much easier. And let's do this one. Okay, so this one, we're going to get maybe shadow from the deltoid to the bicep. And this is still like super ripped. You can go much more simple. You don't have to be this crazy. But, you know, it's up to you how crazy or sane you want to be. And I like to include the tendon here in the here at the wrist, like this thing here. I like to include that, and then this one, pretty straightforward. Get this and get this kind of thing going around like this. And I sometimes suggest like the muscle and also the direction the muscles are going. I don't think that's a bad thing to do. And get the thumb in. Okay, so pretty much that's it. Like, of course you can do this, you know, with a lot more care. It's very weird how I'm drawing this, because I'm like drawing in a very, I have my hand here, up here, and then my pencil's doing here, where normally I would be here, but then I keep hitting this side. Anyway, not important. The important thing is the colors, and ain't they pretty? And practice this, like just find these and then outline, like draw different poses, and also draw poses from life, like, or maybe not life, but photographs, right? So let's say you see a person and their arms sort of looking like this, and it's like, okay, and this is more, you know, what you'll actually see. Instead of like crazy muscles everywhere. So let's say you see that, start looking at, okay, so what's actually happening? And you look at it and you can start to say, oh, okay, so this is the biceps here, and then you have this dividing part, this is going to the thumb, and then this is going up here, and this is the brachialis, and there. right? And then you can do your little colors. And then this one is the pink one. And stuff like that. Okay, so that's a forearm. Hope it helped. I hope it helped. And thanks for watching.